Because I asked that question because the words has been that the Lamidi Papa-led chairmanship was sponsored to create distraction during the 2023 elections, and it has actually done what it wanted to do, and that's the reason why they laid back. Okay, no, that's ignorance of those who don't know what happened. Like I said, who sponsored me? Eragbe Anslem was duly elected as the national leader of Labour Party, and every other person in that faction, apart from Arabambi, whom Abure appointed as acting national publicity secretary when the elected national publicity secretary, Barrister Innocent Lagi, left. Innocent Lagi left angrily because of Abure's emergence illegally as the national chairman of Labour Party. Now let's begin this conversation first taking a quote from Mohandas Gandhi, who once said, "To safeguard democracy, the people must have a keen sense of independence, self-respect, and their oneness." All right, my next quote is from Benjamin Franklin, who once said, "They that give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." Okay. Henry David once said that government is best which governs least. I wonder. All right, I'll take my last one. And this one is from Lord Action, who once said that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm sure you're wondering why those quotes and how they relate to what we will be discussing today. I will tell you. Very warm greetings and welcome to the conversation. We're reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Annabelle Oji. All right, today my guest on the show today is Comrade Eragbe Anslem, who is National Publicity Secretary of the National Youth Alliance. And we'll be talking about politics in 2023, politics in 2027, and the involvement of youth in Nigeria's politics. Great to have you on this show, Comrade Anslem. It's my pleasure as always, Annabelle. Great to have you. KAFTAN Television. Great. It's a pleasure. All right. So now, when I was introducing you as spokesman or publicity secretary, National Youth Alliance, in my mind, the back of my mind, I almost wanted to say president, youth president, Labour Party, but I don't know, the team just came back and said, "Oh no, I think there's a change of assignment here." Yes. What is happening, Comrade Anslem? Oh, thank you, fellow Nigerians. Comrade Eragbe Anslem, today the National Publicity Secretary and spokesperson for the National Youth Alliance of Nigeria. The National Youth Alliance, NYA, is an emerging political party in the making. So as of today, we are a political movement that have filed in the necessary details with INEC processing the registration for a political party hitherto that would account for the welfare and the well-being of young Nigerians, the youth primarily. The aim of this emerging party is to further their interests, the empowerment of the youth of this country, the economic inclusion of the youth of this country, the political participation of the youth of this country, the leadership development of these people, attempt to further the interests of governance as it affects them, national development at all levels, as we have seen, basically with the intention to begin a rebuilding process. So we have observed decadence in the last 64 years in the annals of our national life. We are determined more than ever to change that going forward. Not just change by the word of mouth, but practical reality. And how do I mean? You need to engage the people productively. Nigeria is a country with over 920,000 square kilometers of arable land or land that is unused. We have said this severally. We have a burden of
solid mineral deposits. The wealth of nation endowed by God on this part of the world is enormous. So one would have wondered ideally if God were partial on Nigeria. But what's the issue? The issue has been leadership. So there has been failure of leadership at all levels, and that is what we are committed to doing. And in doing this, there's going to be a effective mobilization of the youth of this country. Yes, like you know, I began to do that in the Labour Party as the national youth leader of Labour Party. I had a target from my office because then the law said the youth leader, we mobilize the youth of this country. We initiate, design and develop strategic programs and policies that will endear the youth to the party. So we were able to do that much until we had some issues in the party because some persons did not understand what time, where, and part of what we did then, which is what we are doing now. Yeah, I'm talking about Abure. Needless to go over those matters. But what it did affected the desires of the youth of this country. So it truncated their aspirations. Irrespective of who was going to be the beneficiary of that struggle, Peter Obi as it were. But it wasn't about Peter Obi really. It was about the sustenance, the viability of this nation, the viability of the youth of this country and their productivity. So we had put in place enough a strategy actually to have realized that in the 2023 general elections. So part of the challenge was that the mobilization structure we put in place, which is again what we are putting in place right now, is such that for now the NYA we are going to be mobilizing a minimum of 25 million Nigeria youth now to position them for this engagement. Not just political engagement, but economic engagement, because we have seen the state of things in the country today. You and I know that things are extremely terrible economically. The subsidy was removed only recently, and the burden of the hardship came down on the people enormously, to the point where prices have risen to more than 3 times of where they were. The pump price of the fuel, the house rent, the food, the salaries are not comparable, like you are aware. We are talking of minimum wage that should not be less than 250,000 naira, so that it can be a living wage in the circumstance. And the government is saying they cannot afford more than 60 or 62,000. That's unacceptable. So what that means is we need a crop of Nigerians who will truly sit down, look at these issues dispassionately and profile solutions. So the NYA that I represent today as the spokesperson is to begin to bring to the fore those solutions. And what are the solutions? First, economic solution. By economic solution, I said, I'm not just a politician. I'm a trade engineer, a metallurgical materials engineer. I work with the research institute sector in this country under the federal government, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, as a registered engineer. 2, I keep saying I am the National Organizing Secretary of the Academic Staff Union of Research Institutions in Nigeria in the last 13 years. Over this time, we looked at the plight of this economy. We had projected that in the years ahead, a liter of fuel will sell for about 800 naira. There is a modulation table we did in 2011 that showed us over time how the pump price of fuel would go to about 850 naira to 1,000 naira, and the adverse effect of that projection on the national economy. So for me, I am not taken aback. So what we did was to have launched, so we launched out to seek a financial solution to rejig this economy ahead. And I'll tell you authoritatively, I've said this severally, we secured 150 billion euro funding to fund the research sector and the workers project and to plow part of this money into the national economy. So this is what we must do. But from part of that money, like I said, 14.2 million euro came via SWIFT 103-202, manual download to Zenith Bank. Those funds are trapped for 3 years. We're in court, both with Zenith Bank, with the EFCC, over this matter. So the point I'm making with that is, we are not going to relent. It's not about Eragbe Anslem. I've had to be in custody with the EFCC and Kuje for 36 days on this matter. So I'm telling the world to say, there are owners, there are faces to what we are doing globally. We are not local champions. contrary to what anybody thinks. So we wrote to President Tinubu immediately he came, and he made the broadcast for subsidy removal, seeking 500 billion naira subsidy intervention funding to say, Mr. President, we had secured the solution to rejig this economy, particularly now they're here. So what you need to do, we took that broadcast, did a financial analysis, cost benefit, and we proved to the president we could engage a minimum of 15 million people in Nigeria annually from 2024 to 2031. And by that disclosure, the financial projection showed us we would spend an average from the government perspective, because they were seeking 500 billion naira for the subsidy intervention funding, and they mentioned the aspect in which those funds were going to be deployed. So we took that statement, did the financial analysis and projections, and showed realistically how this 500 billion naira could be put into economic use, because it was a facility they sought at 9% interest rate, which we offered them to say this is doable, we're in a position. So from that analysis, it revealed to us that 15 million Nigerians nationwide could be engaged under this administration, so that we can drive this process on behalf of the government. You see, I'm saying government not because, I'm not saying this because APC or PDP, no, we are talking about the people of this nation. So rejigging the economy, empowering the people. So this is what we must do. So by the grace of God, I've said a few things here to say. I've just written another letter now to relevant authorities, the EFCC, the NFIU, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, the DSS, the NIA, the Inspector General of Police, the Attorney General of the Federation, Court 35, FCTI Court 35, FCTI Court 49, where we are in, Sigis Properties Limited, our company that got the contract from the research sector to fund all this project, for which we secured the 150 billion euro funding. I'm saying this so that the world can listen to me, so that Nigerians can listen to me. So these matters have been trivialized and narrowed down to Eragbe Anslem. It's not about me. So Annabelle, what I'm telling the world, what I've come now to do, to engage the youth of this country productively, to say they should listen to what I'm saying. They should key into what the NYA is saying, that we are now in a strategic position to salvaging the economy of this country.
All right.
So this is what we are saying. And politically, it is time. You see, when we say the old brigade, when we say they have failed, we say they have failed. They have failed because in their time, they had free education, free healthcare, housing. The government virtually married for most of them. Most of them were given cars as at the point they got their jobs. Are you with me, Annabelle? Now, but what has become of the nation we found ourselves? I remember growing up, 1981, 82, 83 to 85, in then Bender State to Lagos State, under Jack Conde, I benefited from the free and qualitative education in Lagos State. Annabelle, I tell you, I have 3 kids. I pay a minimum of ₦1 million every term for my 3 children. My parents never had to pay a dime for me all through my primary and secondary school days. While I was in the university in ABU Zaria, I did not pay more than 1,500 till I graduated from the university. So we must consciously and deliberately return Nigeria to this position.
All right.
So because there is enough endowment in this country, there is enough wealth, but what we have found is a situation where those who have presided over this nation have looted us to the point of no return. So, and the only thing we can do is to retire these people by 2027 through the creative ingenuity, energies of young Nigerians in the pulling boat.
All right.
And I'll talk about the pulling boat mobilization probably in the next question. So I thank you.
Okay, so Comrade Anslem, I actually deliberately give you enough time to start with your introductory statement, because I was going to draw out, in fact, I'm going to draw out a lot of strings from all that you've stated. Now, let's go back to your $100 billion funding. I know you've been talking about that even during when you were still with the Labour Party. 2 questions, and I'd like you to take them together. Is that the reason why you left the Labour Party? That's one. And then secondly, you talked about, you said something about the old brigade has failed. That's what you said. Who are these old brigades? The same people that you were supporting when you were Labour Party?
Okay. Well, thank you. Let me take the first question. I talked about 150 billion euro funding for the research sector Nigeria Workers Project over the next 25 years. Now, it's not that these monies will drop into Nigeria in one swoop. No. But what we have done, because like I said, I'm a process engineer. I'm a researcher working with the research institute sector in Nigeria. In NASENI. NASENI is the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure.
Right.
Now let me say this. The management of NASENI under MS Haruna illegally dismissed me on the 15th of April 2013. In 2015, I got the Industrial Arbitration Panel judgment and award against them for my reinstatement. They refused. They appealed to the National Industrial Court. The National Industrial Court only on the 16th of May last month, 2024, reinstated me and my secretary, who were illegally dismissed after 11 years, 2 months, with all entitlements in place, salaries, promotion, arrears, benefits, all of them. Now, so I say this so that the world will know. I am a civil servant in the research institute sector in Nigeria. Ideally, I should be on grade level 14 as a deputy director. But from the inquiry I made, I found out that my mates are still on level 13, assistant director. No problem, but I know what the issue is. We'll deal with that subsequently. But that said, so the research institute sector union, trade union leadership at Suri, led by Professor Tussle Ndubuaku. Fortunately, Professor Tussle Ndubuaku is today the chairman, NSC Political Commission. Of course, it's my father, for those that care to listen. My biological father is late. He being the GS, the General Secretary of the Academic Staff Union, I being the National Organizing Secretary. We have worked together for 14 years, thereabout. So while we're doing this for the research sector in Nigeria to rebuild this economy, from what we saw, we designed and developed these processes, took them to all parts of the world. Foreign expatriates, international communities, they looked at these details and saw wisdom in our projections. Because what were the issues? We found out that the law says the Nigerian worker can own a house. However, you need to contribute equity, 10 to 30% of the cost of the property you need to own as down payment. Now, in that analysis in 2011, we went around FCT, did a lot of research and found out that most of the developers who are developing housing for civil servants are stuck because the workers who contributed equity and gave to them, the developers couldn't complete those projects because the cost of funds was so exorbitant. So imagine a developer who took a loan at the cost of 20-25% per annum, and to build a project that would take maybe 3, 4, 5 years, the interest rate would have already consumed that money. Now, the law says the federal government will refinance that project by 70% through the National Federal Mortgage Bank. We suddenly found out that the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is insolvent. They don't have money. So what we found out that the researchers or the workers of this country, even where they have committed their equity, cannot take delivery of these houses. Because one, the developer cannot finish building. Two, even when he finished building, the federal government cannot refinance.
So did you just accuse the mortgage bank of insolvency?
Well, yeah, I did, because they have shown to us that they are insolvent, but corruption has been at the center of the stage. Because what we found out is most of the money, we are contributors to the National Asset Fund scheme. From worker salaries, 2.5% to 5% thereabout is deducted monthly as a pool from where these funds are supposed to be made available to PMIs, the primary mortgage institutes, from where developer will access this refinancing of 70% balance for funding this project to completion. These civil servants will be paying that differential at 6% annual interest rate to their remaining years in service to retirement. So this is the primary issue that led us to what we are doing today. So we designed all of these processes, secured all the lands. In FCT here, we have secured 2,500 hectares of estate land just in Abuja. I don't want to go about the whole country. This project is going around the 774 local government area in Nigeria. Okay. So 190 million euro over 774 local government is 150 billion euro. over, this is just for the housing project. So there's another pool of funds called the research mandate area funding. Those details are with the EFCC and relevant agencies in Nigeria, the financial works. I've not talked about that. That financial work accounts to how Ajaokuta Steel will be rejigged and be operational. The ASCON, the rolling mills, the industries, the power sector, the road, schools, health. So there's enough we have done over time. It doesn't matter what people say about us, like we say, because our facts speak for themselves. And the people we relate with are alive.
So
for instance...
So I'll ask you the question again.
Yes.
Is it because you were not able to fight it out in Labour Party? That's why you all decided to let's make it happen.
Yeah, now, please, yes, like I said, what is the point? What is the point remaining in Labour Party? Well, however, this matter I raised has nothing to do with politics in the first instance. But I mention it because when we found out that the youth of this country, who are predominantly the people we are mobilizing a people that are not empowered. How do you engage them? Which is the reason votes are being sold and bought. So, however, yes, I left Labour Party because, like I said, I had put in all I had from 2016 to 2023 in Labour Party to build this process. What did I get for building the process? I wasn't asking for money. If you know me, I'm not saying I'm rich, but I'm not poor. So, what I did, the 3 ICT solutions built for Labour Party cost me 76 million. Labour Party has not paid a dime. They should compare what I did for Labour Party, that a dime is not paid, with what INEC did and the cost. And those solutions were meant to account for what exact results that transpired for the election.
But did they account for those results?
They did not, because the party Abure frustrated this whole effort. So now, like I said, I won't waste my time anymore there. I kept quiet for a long time because if I kept talking...
So your time in the Labour Party was wasted?
My time was wasted. Because if you know me, if you know what I put into Labour Party, like I said, we built the Labour Party. I'm a member of the NLC. We have been working with the NLC quietly in all of these things I talked about to reposition the party, one, for the interest and benefit of Nigerian workers, because Labour Party was registered by the Labour Movement in 2003. The essence for that registration was to ensure that Nigerian workers' welfare and well-being will be accounted for using this party structure. Are you getting it politically? Because how do you make governance meaningful? Through politics. So, this party you are seeing, people don't understand what people like us are doing in Labour Party. No, it's our party. Like I've just told the world that I'm a researcher in the research sector working with the federal government to date. And I've just been reinstated after 11 years, 2 months, to say the workers, the reason I was dismissed for 11 years illegally in Nigeria was because I've insisted that the right thing be done. Nobody has brought to me to the fore to say, Eragbe, you stole 1 naira or you cheated somebody. No, but I've insisted. The same way in Labour Party. Abure accused me. Abure has not been able to show to the world how Eragbe took a dime from anybody in this world or mobilized money online. No. I showed Abure part of what we will do to build the capacity of Nigeria youth from the projects and funding for the research sector that we secured. That document is in evidence. In a document I wrote to remove Abure, a 32-page document. So quickly, NYA is living the vision. NYA, the National Youth Alliance, is living the expectation. The manifesto of the NYA is part of what we have longed for. So I pray, now we are here. I want to thank the president of the NYA, Ambassador Aliu Bin, to say he has done well, because they identified me to say, come over. This is where you are needed. Come and put your energies and time here. I didn't have to lobby for it. If all the crises I went through in Labour Party, other people saw wisdom in what I did to say, come and find usefulness here. First and foremost, I want to thank that leadership to say, I am here. So I left Labour Party. I have left Labour Party. Let me say, the world should know now that I have left the Labour Party.
What is happening in the Labour Party?
The Labour Party, let me say this. In this country, if we must progress as a nation, the rule of law must take its course. The security must live up to their billings. Labour Party operates by a constitution. I've had to reel out the illegalities that led to Abure's emergence. That's one. However, it's on record that Abure committed so many infractions. Our tenure, we were elected. We were not appointed. I was elected on the 10th of June 2019 with Abure, 20 of us. Abure elected as National Secretary of Labour Party. A Salam National Champ. Eragbe Anslem, National Youth Leader. Our tenure by constitution has a 4-year life. Our tenure was to expire on the 9th of June 2023. Are you with me, Annabelle? Now, with all the illegalities that took place, Abure, let's leave all the issues. Abure was under a subsisting FCT High Court restraining order over forgery, perjury, and criminal conspiracy. Abure never obeyed that court order till today. And heaven in Nigeria has not fallen. That is one. Why that Abure, Labour Party and NSC, remember I said NSC registered the Labour Party in 2003, then as Party for Social Democracy. The name was changed to Labour Party in a convention in NSC convention in Bauchi in 2004 to Labour Party. I've just told you the essence for the registration of that party. Now, there were matters in court earlier. The NSC took the party to court over so many issues. There was a consent judgment. A consent judgment is an out-of-court settlement between the parties, presided as agreed by the court. That consent judgment took place in 2018, even before that convention that brought us. The consent judgment said few things. One, let there be an all-inclusive and expansive national convention, because INEC midwifed those terms of settlement. April 2022. And by July 27 or 28, June 27, 2023, INEC, Labour Party and NSC signed that mediation that INEC midwifed. So that means that makes it another law. Are you with me? And gave a 1-year life for that terms of settlement to be implemented. And what were the terms? So it means by that's 2022. By June 26, 2023, that consent judgment life expired. So what I'm telling the world to say, our tenure legitimately expired on the 9th of June 2023. Are you with me, Labour Party, NWC?
When you say your turn,
yeah.
You also
I wasn't under suspension. Let me say this. Julius Abure had no power over Eragbe Anslem to suspend me.
Are you saying all of you, even
good,
your tenure expired 2023?
All of us. So we were elected from the Labour Party National Convention on the 10th of June 2019.
So what is still happening in 2024?
This is the point. You see, the world needs to know what is going on. I've left the Labour Party, but even while I've left, the world needs to know what is happening in Labour Party and to know who are the forces behind the illegality in Labour Party. Like I said, Peter Obi, I told him when this matter started, Excellency, wade into this matter, listen to me, so that you will know what is going on and be able to do the needful as the leader of the party. Peter Obi, I'm sorry to say, is siding with Abure wrongly. If nobody has told him, I will tell him now. He should stop relating with Abure. Let me say this.
You cannot tell anyone who they should relate to.
No. I can't.
We all have freedom of association.
He has freedom. I just told you why I said so. Because what is the point doing? Show an example. Show good example. Show leadership. What is the leadership? You are our leader. We hold you a duty to tell you, sir, this is ABCD, so that you don't fall. Act contrary. That's the point I mean by that. Now, one, our tenure expired on the 9th as Labour Party NWC, 9th of June 2023, officially. However, Abure got an illegal extension while he was on FCT High Court substitute order. Remember, Abure was restrained. Apapa came in legally. Apapa was elected as Deputy National Chairman South.
Oh, so Apapa came in legally?
Apapa is legal. It's legitimate.
You just say he came in?
Legally, legitimately.
So what has been happening to him all this while?
You see, this is why I said, if Peter Obi had listened to people like us who were ready to tell him the truth so that he would be guided, all of this would have ended long ago. A.A. Salam, may so rest in peace, was elected on the 10th of June 2019 as the national chairman. Alhaji Lamidi Bashir Apapa was elected as the deputy national chairman South of the party. Maria Lebeke, deputy national chairman North, who became the acting national chairman when A. Salam died, may so rest in peace, 29th of December 2020. Maria, we met on the 30th and made Maria by constitutional provision acting chairman. And we to ratify Maria 29th of March 2021 in Benin when Abure upstaged the entire process as national secretary and became national chairman illegally. So
that's an accusation.
See,
that's
please,
an allegation.
There is no allegation. I am talking. This is the horse mouth speaking. I'm giving you legality. Abure has no provision. The law does not provide for the national secretary to become national chairman. There were only two people who would have become national chairman. Maria Lebeke, who was Apapa Alhaji Lamid Bash. That was why when Abure was restrained by FCT High Court and Maria Lebeke was on a 2-year illegal suspension by Abure, so Apapa was now nominated and ratified as the acting national chairman of Labour. That was why we sided with Apapa. Apapa is not an impostor. Abure is the impostor.
That's
so
where
quickly. So to
Comrade Anslem, we need to go on the break. We'll start from where you just landed.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue this conversation with Comrade Anslem Eragbe. I'll see you after this time out. Do join us again. If you just joined us, this is the conversation reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. If you just joined us, you've actually missed out on the first 30 minutes of the show, but then we'll join, and it's glad for you to have you join us in the concluding part of the program. We've been chatting with Comrade Anslem Eragbe, who is the National Publicity Secretary and spokesman of the National Youth Alliance. All right, before we went on that break, you ended with the fact that
of course, not an impostor.
That was your word.
Yes, I quickly ran that up and.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I began to say Apapa was not an impostor. I've already sold a dummy to the world, probably because he fell out of what happened. Now, what are the issues? Quickly, Apapa was very legitimate as the deputy national chairman South, who benefited from the ouster of Abure by the court. Now, what followed afterwards was that Abure, while the FCT High Court restraining order subsisted, Abure went to Asaba on the 18th of April 2023. Remember, I just said it was under the FCT High Court restraining order over forgery, perjury, and criminal conspiracy over the Ebonyi matter. It's in evidence. Abure went because we are taking over the secretariat legitimately. However, Abure went to Asaba 18th of April 2023, had a illegal NEC meeting. Peter Obi and the other elected people were there. That was wrong. Now, let's look at that argument. Abure got an illegal 1-year extension. Now, that 1-year extension ideally ended on the 17th of April this year, 2024. Okay, let's assume that all things were normal and we are all together normally as elected NWC member, and we all got a 1-year extension. The 1-year extension from 9th June 2023. Are you with me? 1 year would have ended 8th June. Are you with me? 2024. So, under everything under the heavens and the laws, the legality of Labour Party NWC that I represented ended on the 8th. Let's assume that the other illegality was right of June 2024.
When did we start making illegality right?
No, I said let us assume, because I've just given this time to say Abure is illegal. Is the impostor here. There is no law of the party that permitted the national secretary to become national chairman. That's the impostor. But however, he subsisted. Now, NLC, the owners of the party came up to say, because they looked at the whole thing to say, we had no more locals. Of course, it's their party. They are a trustee of the party. They set up the National Transition Committee, headed by the former NLC president, Comrade President Abdulwahid Omar. Now, today, as it stands in Nigeria, that committee is the one in charge remember I told you the consent judgment they signed said from 2022 to 2023, 1 year, ending June 2023, they should what? We should conduct an all-inclusive national convention, 1. 2, are you with me? Mobilize 10 million Nigerians, youth, into the database of the party.
All right.
3, conduct what congresses? Local government congresses, state congresses, national convention that will build up to the national, the delegates that will build up to the national convention. Abure conducted a national convention in Asaba on the 27th of March 2024 without congresses.
Right.
Where did Abure get those people from? Another illegality and impostor. But Abure, so my anger is, I watched what happened just this week that I couldn't attend this program. Pardon me. The NSC went to the party secretariat to take over and commence activities, only to meet Abure having a NEC meeting. NEC is the National Executive Council meeting of Labour Party with His Excellency Peter Obi, elected Labour Party senators, House of Reps, and other people in Labour Party secretariat, and they prevented NSC from going into that building.
Was that the reason for the protest?
Of course. Where did Abure? So I'm saying, we hear a manner of things in the news to say Apapa and Abure have reconciled, and they can reconcile in their bedroom or in their houses, but that reconciliation has nothing to do with the Labour Party, because the tenor that I know that we were duly elected lapsed plus illegality and legality on the 8th of June 2024. So
where has Apapa been all this while?
Well, from when the NSC took over, like I said, you know, we were responsible for all of those struggles. Yes. Myself, Eragbe Anslem, National Youth Leader, Okwueze Splendor, the governorship candidate of Ebonyi State, whose details were forged, and the matter, the police recommended, Abure has been recommended for prosecution to the Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice. As I'm talking now, I'm aware that the charges for Abure's prosecution have been raised by the ministry for him to appear in court for his prosecution. Where has
Lamidi Apapa been?
Now, Lamidi Apapa had to take a backseat. All of us took a backseat from when NSC, because NSC had to take over from, I think that was March or April. You remember the program we had? Yes, the stakeholders meeting. From that hour, the NSC took over in acting capacity to put these structures in place to conduct this national convention. Because
I asked that question because the words has been that the Lamidi Apapa-led chairmanship was sponsored to create distraction during the 2023 elections, and it has actually done what he wanted to do, and that's the reason why they laid back.
Okay, no, that's ignorance of those who don't know what happened. Like I said, who sponsored me? Eragbe Anslem was duly elected as the National Youth Leader of Labour Party, and every other person in that faction, apart from Arabambi, whom Abure appointed as acting National Publicity Secretary when the elected National Publicity Secretary, Barrister Innocent Lagi, left. Innocent Lagi left angrily because of Abure's emergence illegally as the National Chairman of Labour Party. So it was when he left. Sorry, are you getting it? Are you following me? So it was that process of Abure's emergence that made Innocent Lagi to leave. So quickly, Apapa, we all left. Like I said, nobody sponsored us. I'm here to see anybody to put anything. You see, if you know Eragbe Anslem, if I say A about you, I will bring facts. Just if I say Abure forged somebody's document, I will put the facts on it. I'll put them on the internet. If I say there's a police prosecution order on him, I'll put it on the internet. If I'm not saying that the Ministry of Justice has already recommended Abure's prosecution for his in court, I'm still going to put it on the internet.
All right, Comrade Anslem.
So Apapa we all took a back seat because, like we said, our faction. Look at what happened. Because Apapa, who were legitimate, mind you, notwithstanding, but the lacuna was we're in Bauchi May 3rd, 2023, where the NEC of the party ratified Apapa's acting this thing for 6 months. But under our leadership, we couldn't convey a meeting to extend the tenure for another 6 months. Are you getting it? To cope with Abure's side. So, and people like us will not allow the wrong thing to be done. And once we couldn't do that, remember, it was me that told the world that our tenure expired.
All right.
30th November 2023.
We have quite a number of things to discuss, but then our time is fast spent. But yes. I will go back to the question I asked you.
Yes.
He said our old brigade has failed.
Yeah.
You've not answered that question.
I'll answer it right now.
And then you also said there are faces that you are fronting for the Labour Party at the time. And then you also said
faces I was fronting.
It wasn't about Peter Obi.
Okay, yeah. Good.
Now I'll put all of this together.
Okay.
And give a response to it.
Thank you.
If it wasn't about Peter Obi, who was it about?
Thank you very much. The first question had to do with, remind me of the first question before I come to Peter Obi's issue.
Old brigade has failed.
Yeah,
are you referring to Peter Obi here?
Well, you see, Peter Obi, ideally, is not entirely an old brigade per se, but what we are doing in NYA...
because if you're looking at them, the NYA youth, and then you're talking about Peter Obi...
I'll come to that. What I mean, the old brigade failed. I just gave you an instance to say, growing up, Eragbe Anslem, started my primary school in 1979 in Okpokpe, now Isako East, in the old Bender State under Professor Ambrose Ali's administration. That's the Shagari administration. It was free qualitative education. Now, in that era, in that time, life was meaningful. Annabelle, as I speak with you today in Nigeria, there is no life that is meaningful for the ordinary man in Nigeria. The ordinary man, I just told you, I pay a minimum of 1 million naira for my 3 children. I just said it on the national TV.
Yes, we understand that.
So
just so we can manage our time.
Yeah, which country does that?
Just so we can manage our time.
Because they failed us in our education.
Did you not know that
in our economy?
Did you not know that when you were pushing for them in Labour Party?
No, in Labour Party, like I said, you see, Peter Obi was a beneficiary of our struggle in Labour Party. Remember, in Labour Party, Eragbe Anslem was a presidential aspirant 2019-2023 because, like I said, in NSC had a political agenda which I was representing. 1, feature the youth. 2, get the labor movement. Are you getting it? To take control of the party and to administer the party frontally, to meeting the manifesto of the party. So like I said, Peter Obi became a beneficiary of that struggle on our platform. He joined us 2 weeks before the primary. Are you with me? From PDP. But however, when he came, we gave him all the needed support. Because for us, he was the best of the lot in the circumstance by his own antecedents in Anambra State. Of course, if you use his records in Anambra State, we had reasons as at that time. Let me tell you why people like me agreed. See, we believe in justice. Our motto is justice, fairness, equity in the party, Labour Party. The Southeast in Nigeria have not had the opportunity to present the Nigerian president on a democratic scale. Are you with me? So if you look at the political power equation, North-South divide of Nigeria, you will agree with me that in 2023, it was ideally the turn of Southern Nigeria, 1. Then 2, the turn of the Southeast. Goodluck Jonathan is from our own extraction of the region in South-South. Are you with me? So for me, and I wrote some of these things in publication before that time, see, because I believe in justice and because we saw somebody who clearly had a capacity that we could rely on. Are you getting it? And who the youth were ready to follow. So there was no point me, Eragbe Anslem, using my personal, are you getting it, to upstage the overall aspiration of the youth of this country. So I took a sacrifice, a personal sacrifice, to 1, step down my aspiration. 2, align my desire at that point with the desires of the youth of this country who predominantly wanted Peter Obi, whom we have now accepted in our party's platform. Are you with me? And I did everything I could do as leader to ensure that he would win. And when he won, we'll have the records. And this was what Abure fought against. So I have not brought Peter Obi into this equation, but I have to explain this away. But I'm saying all those who have ruled us, they are old brigade. Old brigade because we have seen the antecedents of their record of performance. If they say they have passed, or they succeeded, why are we where we are? Annabelle, a liter of fuel, how much is a liter of fuel in Nigeria? How much do you pay for your house rent? How much do you pay your children's school fee, your health care? Are you able to take care of your loved ones, your dependents? There are many things.
So if Peter Obi had won the 2023 election, would you be sitting here saying this? Would you be in this position?
You see, like I said, the same position. There was a statement I was making yesterday. I said, Eragbe Anslem, I am not looking up to any government right now on behalf of this country and the people to succeed. No, I said we have achieved solution for the country. I said something earlier. When President Tinubu came and removed subsidy and sought 500 billion, I wrote to him through the EFCC chairman to say, Mr. President, you are looking for funds. We have funds offshore for inflow to the Nigeria economy to enable us empower our people. I'm not empowering President Tinubu. I said something. If Peter Obi were president, it is this same solution that I'm talking about now that will have still put on the table for Peter Obi to succeed.
And you would have not jumped to the National Youth Alliance.
The Eragbe Anslem, you know, if I'm not comfortable, I'll move, because it is the solution that we have that we are putting on the table. We have not come to say, government, give us money. We are saying, government, we have funds, we have funders, we have contracts, we have projects to be funded in Nigeria. You relax. Where are your programs? We fund them on behalf of your people. The subsidy issues, we're able to fund them. I am saying it, Mr. President, if these clips ever get to you, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not minding that today I'm of the NYA, National Youth Alliance, I'm saying, but the youth empowerment programs of this country for Nigeria youth, we have the solution. So call the EFCC, call the NFI, call the Central Bank, call Zenith Bank and all the banks in Nigeria to say, Eragbe Anslem said, through seized properties from the contract you have seen, I have written to the president, all authorities in Nigeria to say, our funders are waiting. 3 years we have brought in funds to Nigeria to help our nation. The bank have resisted us. They have conspired against us. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I am appealing and calling on you to say, Eragbe Anslem has said this. I wrote to you severally to say we're in a position to fund this program you desired for this nation, to rebuild and rejig this nation from now to 2031. We are not doing that entirely because in your name. We are doing that because you need to succeed and this nation needs to move ahead.
All right.
That's why I said, even if Peter Obi were the president, not minding whoever is president, we will do this for our nation. All
right. So now you're looking forward to 2027.
Yes.
Who is the NYA fronting?
Thank you.
As president for 2027?
Thank you very much. The much I know is the NYA that I know will not feature a presidential candidate. Obviously, that's more than, without exaggeration, that is more than 60 years. Our limit target is 55 years.
What does it matter?
It matters to us now. The president, the vice president, 80-90% of those the NYA is going to feature, by the grace of God, will be within the range of 18 years to 55, 95%. The 5% case will be between 56 and 60 years. The reason for that is this. There is an energy and intellect that is required to run a vision. Now, there is a strength required to run a vision. So, and that strength is domiciled with the youth.
So what is this vision? Just to put someone between the ages of 18 to 55? Is that the vision?
Yeah, the vision is well laid out. I may not be able to espouse it here, but I think I've given some highlights. But subsequently, what is the vision? First and foremost, how do we rejig? Take away NYA, we have just said from now, this 2022 to 2024, by the grace of God, from what we have done with the research institute sector, the labor movement. Like I said, I represent these fronts. I represent the academic staff, I represent the NLC in all of these things I'm saying. As a frontliner in all of this, before we achieve them. So I'm not doing this in isolation. So I'm saying on behalf of fellow Nigerians, we are in a position to begin to creating jobs, sustainable empowerment jobs, private sector driven. The policy document we have is such that from what we have, if the government partner with us, Nigeria workers can be paid a minimum of 250,000 naira salaries as their living wages, even from this is June, even from July ending. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Eragbe Anslem is saying to you, sir, His Excellency, on this national TV that call me, set your team up to sit with me, that we are in a position to ensure that the 250,000 naira minimum wage the Nigeria Labour Congress has asked for Nigeria worker and its consequential increment, if we work together from July 2024, we are able to make that payment. So, government,
okay, so let's stay on NYA.
No, this is the vision of the NYA.
Let's stay on NYA now. So now, if in 2023 you're looking at forward to 2027 already, yes, have your party been registered first?
No, like I said something, we're under the process. So what we are doing now is part of the requirements for party registration. First, an association, whether it's a movement, you come together, you put up your structures, you file an application in INEC. Are you getting it? Your executive, they verify your office. So most of all these things have been done. So actually, we are waiting, by the grace of God, the issuance of a certificate.
And if it is not issued?
Whether or not it's issued, this movement has come to stay. We will take our lot and we know what to do with ourselves and our people.
And you say you're going to raise or mobilize 25 million.
25 million youth.
How do you intend to go about that?
Now, quickly, part of what I did in the Labour Party was we set up, you see, verifiable registration procedures. Now, we set up 3 ICT solutions. One, the Labour Party National Mobilization Platform with 6 portals. That solution is, because they didn't use it, is now going to be deployed fully for the NYA for Nigerians. Now, that platform has 6 portals. Portal 1 registers, now to register our member across the 8,815 political wards, 704 local government at the 6 states and the FCT. It will issue them a membership card with 6 unique ID: national ID, state ID, local government ID, ward ID, polling unit ID, and the VIN ID. The national ID will tell us the total number per time every day until we attain 25 million. So we'll be sure that these 25 million people will vote for our would-be presidential and vice presidential candidate. So that's the essence. That was why I told you that I would have been able to establish for the party, Labour Party, what transpired. 2, the portal registers. The second ID is the state ID. It will tell us how many people per state will vote our governorship candidate per time. 3, the local government ID will tell us those who will vote for our senatorial House of Rep candidates in 2027. 4, the polling unit ID enables us to identify those in the. Are you getting it? Specifically now the VIN? Leaving that, you come to the mobile application. What does the mobile application do? The situation room enables us to do all of the other processes. 1, to register, build the capacity of the polling unit agents. Our formula is 3 polling unit agents per polling unit on the day of the national election. 1 for the president, 1 for the senators, 1 for the House of Reps, and they'll be able to upload so that solution displays the exit sheet online, this on scroll bar of national television, and social media platform, the polling unit result as they are coming party by party online real time. The third solution accounts for the uploading of the Form EC88. It's called the election results collation and display window. On that window, you have all the eligible from INEC from EC88 uploaded and displayed. And within 24 hours, we'll download the whole thing and prepare for any election petition tribunal matters. However, we'll be able to know who had won an election while we are waiting for INEC to announce. And that ultimately will curb rigging from INEC or any powers that would be. So, and the youth of this country will be ready to stand for what is right. So this is the solution. Part of the mobilization has to do with the empowerment. So what we have done with the empowerment is we have designed a 25 million youth mobilization empowerment, economic empowerment program. Our investment, let me talk about the investment.
You have 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute for this investment is, I sent something to your WhatsApp, maybe in the next engagement. It's not for free. What we have done from the fundings we have, there's an equity that everybody desires to contribute. In the minimum equity is 15,000 naira. 50,000 up to about 750,000. Now, with that equity, our counterpart funding will now be 50 times that. So which means if you register and you pay in 50,000 naira, we will fund, because we have developed the business blueprint for the economic ventures, small scales, SMEs, large scale, all of the agricultural mechanism, mine, so many ready. So your commitment is to pay the equity when you register, pay. Ours is to fund you with 50 times. If you pay 1 million, 1 million times 50 is the worth of that your investment.
All right.
It will be funded from this pool of funds. So because it will have to be recouped. Now, how do you make money from there? Now we fund you without you looking for loan, because this money is loan. We got it at 3.5% annual repayment rate over 25 years tenure. Now, the return on investment from this will be such that the state, the local government, the federal government, the individual that partake, the amount for the recoup of this fund is set aside. The profit is shared. Are you with me? Across board, taxes are paid. If I show you the financial analysis of what I'm talking about, is heart-shaking.
Comrade Anslem.
So these are the things that the NYA is coming to do. So the youth of this country, please be awake and be alive with us to say a new day, a new dawn has come.
All right.
With the NYA, and the leadership of NYA is ready to drive the process.
In one word, are you going to be the president or the presidential candidate of the NYA, or are you going to be on the ballot in 2027 for NYA?
Well, let me say this: the youth of this country, ultimately, the party structure. I couldn't talk about the party structure. Ultimately, the party structure, primaries and the rest will decide. But Eragbe Anslem, like you know, is an aspiring president of Nigeria.
So, are you going to be on the ballot?
Oh, by the grace of God. By the grace, if God keeps me alive, I'm going to be in the ballot. By the grace of God. First and foremost, today I have a duty.
And that's the reason why you're in NYA.
No. I've just said I was in Labour Party solely to rejig and to become the president of Nigeria. 2019-2020.
So he's not working in Labour Party, he might work in NYA.
Oh, of course he could work in NYA, but in NYA it's not going to be restricted to Eragbe Anslem. But Eragbe Anslem has an age-long aspiration for the presidency.
All right.
But he will not stop. And again, the NYA will be very conscious of the political equation in Nigeria. The divide, like I said. But Eragbe Anslem, God keeping us alive, should be looking at the presidency, maybe, or Senate, or governor, but time will tell.
We wish you all the best, Comrade
Eragbe
Anslem. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate you so much.
All right, viewers, that's where we end this conversation for today. We've been chatting with Comrade Eragbe Anslem, who is the National Publicity Secretary and spokesman of the National Youth Alliance. I will see you again next time. Keep watching The Conversation, because you don't know who my next guest will be or what I will be speaking of next. My name is Annabelle Oji. God bless you and yours. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Good evening.